Trump would be the US president if there was an election today. The Wall Street Journal, this survey says the former president would win in a head-to-head race with Joe Biden by 47% to 43%. That's a reasonable margin. Sarah Baxter's on the line, who's director of the Marie Colvin Center for International Reporting in New York City. Hello to you, Sarah.
Hello, John.
Look, lots of polls coming out now. Is there now a visible trend?
Yes, there is. Several of the latest polls have shown Donald Trump clearly ahead now of Joe Biden. Now, you made an important point. These are the polls if people vote today, not if they vote in November 2024. But at the same time, I have to say the Democrats are having kittens over this trend and are really getting worried as well about the impact of third-party candidates on Joe Biden's chances of winning.
Okay, well, tell us more about that then, because there are such potential candidates out there. Liz Cheney, she the Republican who's taken a stand against Donald Trump. Is she looking like she may have a tilt at it? And you've got a member of the Kennedy clan. Tell us more.
Yeah, well, if Liz Cheney has a tilt at it, she'll take away a few, not that many, I suspect, but a few disaffected Republicans who would otherwise feel obliged to vote for Joe Biden because they can't stomach Trump. Now, RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr., has a powerful brand name, even though he has some pretty crazy policies on COVID and other matters. He's a bit of a conspiracist. But he does appeal to people who just have that name recognition. And a potential Green Party candidate is standing as well, who could take votes away from Biden. Biden's having difficulty with his core voters, the young, who don't want to vote for somebody who's over 80, potentially with the Muslim vote, who are very angry that he's being so supportive of Israel. And there are so many factors at play, whereas Trump has a very stable base of support. There are, however, some problems with the level of support for Trump that I think will impact negatively on him come election day.
Well, tell us more then about that.
Okay. Well, first of all, he never seems to be able to break out and receive more than 47% of the vote. There's still that sort of feeling that a significant portion of the American electorate is firmly against him. He's divisive. And if at the end of the day, people think that he's going to be elected president unless they herd around Joe Biden, then Joe Biden could see his vote increase. What we're probably seeing with these very low polling numbers for Biden is a general sense of being fed up with him and wishing there was someone better than Joe Biden to stand against Donald Trump. But nobody's ever really liked Donald Biden. Nobody ever really liked Joe Biden. They didn't want him to win in 2016. He came through only at the end of the primary system. He came through by the skin of his teeth again in 2016, the actual presidential elections. But at the end of the day, there does seem to be 50% of the American public, maybe 51, 52%, that don't want Trump.
Now, what about the way that Donald Trump, in this astonishing ways, leaning into the debate about whether he wants to be or would govern in a dictatorial style?
He's making no secret of his love of autocracy. Yes, he told Sean Hannity, a Fox News presenter, about how he would be a dictator on day one, although he did sort of pretend not after day one. But he wants all sorts of fiats. He's talked about sacking whole loads of government employees. He only the other day was talking admiringly of President Xi in China because he rules 1 billion people with an iron fist, Donald Trump said approvingly. He likes Viktor Orban. He likes Vladimir Putin, as we know. And certainly I think these polls are scaring not only the Democrats, but the Ukrainians, who are counting on America's support for their war against Russia.
Yeah.
He's frightening the NATO leaders, frankly, and particularly the members of NATO who are in the Eastern European states, the Baltic states.
Absolutely remarkable.
So, yeah, it is a remarkable situation we're in.
Sarah, have we lost you there? Can you still hear us, Sarah?
I'm still here.
Oh, we got you there. Well, let me ask you lastly. I mean, the trials, the many and various trials are still coming. They're not far off now. Could they still be an X factor in Trump's position?
Yes, but that's assuming he gets convicted. So there's definitely evidence that Americans do not want to support a convicted president. Republicans aren't that bothered, but it does bother independent voters, and that could have an impact. That's definitely something to watch for. But I mean, anybody who thinks that there's an open and shut case against Donald Trump, particularly as regards, the insurrection charge, is in a dream world. He could easily get off, in which case that might actually conversely give him a bounce.
All right, Sarah Baxter, really good to talk to you as always. Let's talk again very soon.